Not getting the values right is probably one of the biggest mistakes that beginner digital artists make, and I don't blame them, because the ability to see values within the colors is not an easy thing to do. But don't worry, I'm here to show you a quick trick that you can use to keep your values in check. Well, some of you might ask,
"Hey Mott, are you teaching us values? Really? That's basic stuff. Teach us something good, something advanced, something to up our games just a little bit more."
I'm here to tell you that there are no shortcuts. You gotta put in the hours to make yourself a better artist. That is the truth. But that does not mean that there are no little tricks to help you along the way. And there is one trick among those list of tricks that would help you keep your values in check. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what I'm going to show you today. So let's take a look at some of the art that you've posted on Discord, analyze it a little bit, see where the values are not right, and how you can use that trick to correct those values. So without wasting any more time, let's do this. So I found this artwork on the paint over entry section of the Discord channel, and it's a really cool art. It's giving me some kind of a Thief the game vibe. Have you ever played Thief? Oh man, the time that I spent on this game is insane. Anyways, let's take a look at some of the things that are happening in this scene. So we have this super cool assassin lady on a rooftop with a raven that is about to land on her arm. The architecture seems medieval, so maybe it's a medieval fantasy setting. There is a huge moon in the background right behind the character, so it's a nighttime scene. Overall, it's a really cool composition and really nice character focused piece that could be a great fantasy card illustration for a card game, to be honest. There are a few things that we need to discuss in order to take it up a notch and make it even better, and for that let's take a look at some of the night scenes that we have and see how the lighting and value usually works in those scenes. Here is a night scene from the Witcher 3 trailer. So the first thing that you might notice is that the moon is really bright, and some of the things in the foreground are really dark, and that creates a nice contrast which helps us differentiate shapes more clearly, because if you show a darker object over a relatively lighter background, the silhouette reads a lot better. Also notice how objects from the environment are catching some of the moonlight, which again not only looks great but also helps the eye see different shapes and forms within the image. Now check out this scene from Harry Potter. Notice how even if it's night, some of that ground is catching so much light, and also there is a lot of that fog or smoke to add separation between objects and to make the silhouettes a lot more readable. Now this lighting scenario might not be 100% accurate, and that is fine as long as it's stylistically great looking and conveys the mood and setting. Also notice how the characters are usually lit from behind so that they are more prominent and easier for the eye to see. The darks are also quite dark and the bright parts are very close to white. Now with all that info in our head, let's go back to our artwork and see if we can do something to improve it. We immediately see that the contrast between lights and darks is not too much. The darks are not enough dark and the lights aren't enough light. That means we don't have enough value range. The value range is basically the range of different color values between your darkest value and your lightest value. So let's say we have a dark gray here on one side, and on the other side we have white, and between them there would be lots of shades of gray. Then this refers to the value range. So to fix that, we're gonna go to image, adjustments, curves, and then add a little bit of contrast. See, it's already started to look better. After that, the first thing that I'm gonna do is to separate each object on a separate layer, since I never got the layered file for this artwork. This will also help me make selections later on much easier. So let's do that first. Now when I have everything on a separate layer, I'll just quickly paint the background and refine the shape of the moon. For painting the background, I am color picking from the existing colors on the canvas and then making these colors light and dark as required. After that, the sky looks a bit too flat and boring, so why not add some sort of a gradient? And for that, I mostly use a large soft brush, and that is how we just made the sky darker from the top and lighter from the bottom. It also helps us viewers colors keep the eye in the center and not wander off. The front building also looked a bit off, so I tried to correct the perspective as well. And then of course quickly fill all these crazy gaps on the roof. I also painted some shadows on the roof near the main character, and I made the top darker as well. Now we'll fix some perspective on the farther buildings and also add some more distant buildings in the background, because right now the background seems a bit too empty. We gotta add some sort of a depth into it. So I'll just use the selection tool to make shapes and fill them in with a large brush. Later I'll also make the left tower a bit faded so that its darks are not very dark. Next we have a brighter moon, so I'll select a bright color near to white and paint over the moon. And I'll also add some nice glow using a soft brush and color dodge. Next, we'll fix some of these buildings, add a bit of lighting and shadows, and overall refine stuff. Now, once we are here, we have fixed some things and it's looking better. Why? Because the values look better. But how do we find out that our values are correct? Here's a quick way to check it. Make a new layer, then select a paint bucket tool, select a black color and drop it on your canvas. Name that layer to value check or not, your choice, and then set the layer's blending mode to saturation. Now you'll be able to see your colored painting in grayscale. Lock that layer so you don't accidentally screw it up. Keep it on the top and toggle it on and off to constantly check your values. Now using this trick, let's check the values for the previous artwork and then this artwork. The new one has more contrast, more value range and better sense of distance and depth. I used this technique to keep my values in check and you should do it too. Let's try this on some more artworks. Now check this out. The silhouette is clearly readable. There are areas that are very light, like the snow, and then there are areas that are quite dark, like the branches of the tree. The things in the distance have lighter shadows than the stuff in the foreground and midground. If an artwork looks good in grayscale, it will also look good in color as well. Here's another one. Check how the sky is very light, and that is why the silhouette is reading so well. Value range is good too. Overall, it looks good in grayscale, so it looks good in color as well. Okay, great. Now that we have learned this new trick, I'll go ahead and finish our paint over. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the process. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video, hope you learned something new. If you did, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, comment down below and let me know your thoughts and suggestions. And if you are still not subscribed to this channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And click on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, bye bye. Let's see how many of you are still here. Just a secret between you and me. We'll call this the Brotherhood. So I welcome you with open arms to the Brotherhood. I summon you under the pinned comment down below. Show yourselves.